Joins us with a timeline. Kristi, more snow is in the forecast.
Yeah, it's certainly not for all areas, though, Sophie. Let me break it down for you. So right now, for the most part, what we're seeing is rainfall develop, although we've had significant reports of ice pellets as well as grapple. Grapple are like little mini snowballs falling from the sky, and that gives you that indication that temperatures are certainly cold enough up above. Now, what we have in terms of temperature right now is 4-5 degrees across the region, but we're expecting temperatures overnight in Metro Vancouver to drop down to 2 degrees. Most areas will see rainfall, but the higher elevation regions, areas away from the water, and some localized areas in Metro Vancouver that tend to be a little bit colder have the potential for snowfall as the temperatures drop overnight. So we're talking about 2 to 10 centimeters of snow. Southern Metro Vancouver won't see anything, and we have snowfall warnings in place for the Whistler as well as the Coquihalla region. I'll give you a better explanation of the timeline, but for the most part, this is a tonight event easing off tomorrow morning. So back to you.
All right, thanks, Kristi. And meteorologist Kristi Gordon with more on this winter weather that we've been experiencing, even though it's March 1st now, Kristi.
Yeah, heading in like a lion, that's for sure, Sophie. So the snowfall across our region will be highly variable. Southern regions, we're expecting just rain. Many lower elevations regions of Metro Vancouver, just rain as we drop down to only 2 degrees. But if you're over higher elevations, if you're a localized area in Metro Vancouver that tends to get snow when others don't, as well as if you're out through the Fraser Valley, that's when we're expecting accumulations right until about 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So it could impact your commute to work. And then certainly if you're headed up to the Sea to Sky, as well as along the Coquihalla, you need to expect snowfall, and that's tonight through a good part of the day tomorrow. So as we continue through the evening hours, conditions are going to be very spotty. Most areas looking at rain, we've had reports of grapple and ice pellets, but it becomes much more consistent as we continue through the overnight hours. And it's at this point around midnight, so through the overnight periods, that temperatures will be cold enough that these areas here have that potential for snowfall accumulations. And as I mentioned, it will continue into the morning hours before it begins to ease off. And tomorrow we're back to a mix of sun and cloud. We do have a risk of thunderstorms. It's going to be very unstable though across the region. Those of you in the interior, also snowfall, although there'll be a little bit of a rain shadow effect in the southern interior region. So the bulk of the snowfall will be in the Columbia, the Kootenay region, although the Kootenay region warming up to 2 degrees, so a transition to rain. Most of the south coast though, a mix of sun and cloud and just a slight chance of showers tomorrow. So isolated pockets of instability with that risk of thunderstorms. So we just have to get through tonight, Sophie, and then beyond that, it looks like that could be the last bout of snow over the next little while. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Kristi. Well, it is actually March, which I suppose it is still technically winter, isn't it, Kristi, for another couple of weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks. Usually until about the 20th or 21st. I'm not exactly sure what day it is this time around. But yeah, so we still have a little bit of winter left, that's for sure. Now, much of Metro Vancouver will just see rainfall overnight. I want to give you a clear understanding of that. But it's areas above about 200 meters, as well as there's always those isolated pockets around Metro Vancouver that tend to cool off a little bit more than other areas. Janet Brown's house. Janet from CKNW always gets snowfall in Surrey when everyone else doesn't. And then through the Fraser Valley. But the best chance of that 10 centimeters of snow would really be over higher elevations. Most other areas would be at 2 to 5 in these regions. The precipitation is not expected to end until about 9 a.m., so it could impact the commute to work. So through the evening hours, it is very spotty, but it will intensify as we head towards the midnight hour. And it's around midnight that we'll start to see temperatures drop enough. These are the areas that could be impacted. So the North Shore, as well as Coquitlam, Burnaby, even northern Surrey and northern Langley, out towards sort of the Mission and Chilliwack area. Those are the regions that have the potential for snowfall accumulations. And again, yes, it could impact your commute to work tomorrow. So give yourself some extra time. Tomorrow, though, during the day, a mix of sun and cloud. And look at that bullseye off in the distance. Tomorrow's the day you need to keep your eye on the sky. We even have a risk of thunderstorms. So exciting times, that's for sure, in our weather forecast. All right, here's a look at that front shifting across. A bit of a rain shadow effect for those of you in the interior, but we will see snowfall in the Columbia and the Kootenay region. Kootenay area, you'll change over to rainfall in the afternoon as you warm up to about 2 degrees. For our region, a mix of sun and cloud. We have a 40% chance of showers throughout the day tomorrow, but keep your eye on the sky. We even have a risk of thunderstorms. thunderstorms. And it looks like temperatures will warm up to highs of about 7 degrees. So beyond tonight and early tomorrow morning, it looks like we're going to warm up, and that could be the end of snowfall in the short term anyways. Beautiful shot looking out over Hartley Bay, which is just sort of southwest of the Kitimat area along the north coast. George Fisher sharing that with us. That is a gorgeous evening shot. Thanks, George.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kristi.
That's great. All right, Squire joins us now, taking a look at what's coming up in sports later.
Well, the Vancouver Canucks